Today we'll be making a 3D printable domino tray that looks something like this. We'll be using a drawing of a domino to create this part. Uh, the length will be 2 inches, width will be 1 inch, and thickness a quarter of an inch. The domino tray at the end is going to look something like this. Let's start out by creating a new part. We're going to go to sketch on the upper left hand corner right here. We're going to click on the right plane and we're going to right click and view normal to sketch plane. Now we're going to make uh, about the part that we're looking to hold our domino. Looks something like this. And we'll get everything kind of straightened out before with before we extrude it with a little bit of constraints and dimensions. Now this whole thing is going to end up being about a 16th of an inch thick. So let's use our dimension right here in the middle. Uh, I'll be clicking on that and also clicking on D for dimension as well. We're going to dimension the thickness of this. We're going to do 0.0625 or 16th of an inch. We're going to make this a 16th of an inch as well. And same thing with this, 1/16th of an inch. Now, if you see this line right here isn't totally lined up perpendicular with this, so we can go over to our constraints and constrain it perpendicularly with that other line right there. Now, mostly we have this dimensioned right here. And now we'll have to add dimensions for our domino. So if you remember, the thickness of the domino is going to be a quarter of an inch, 0.25. Then we'll want to add a little bit of a tolerance in there. So let's add 0.03125 to that. And then we'll need a little bit of backing to hold the domino up. And I figured this out with a little bit of trial and error, but you'll want at least 0.375 behind there. I used zero point 0.5 at one point too, and that worked out pretty well as well. Just in case you want a little bit extra material. Right here, got a little bit too big, adding our dimensions in. This is going to be ellipse, so and then your domino doesn't flip back over on you. And let's make this a 16th of an inch as well. Now this is rotated a little far back, so let's add a dimension to this to rotate it back to where we want it to. We're going to first constrain this with coincident to our origin. And then we're going to use a construction line to add the angle that we want this to sit at. So if you didn't see that, I clicked on a line and then I clicked on construction right here. And that makes a not solid line, but you can still dimension off of. So we don't want that 30 degrees. Let's make it 60 degrees so we can look at our domino from up on the table. And that is our first sketch right there. So we'll press the green check mark, click on our sketch, and extrude it. This part, or this row, is going to hold 4 dominoes. So we'll make that 8 inches. And in a normal game of dominoes, you have usually 15 dominoes that you start each round with. So 4 dominoes isn't going to cut it right there. So we'll need to make 4 more of these. So let's do a linear pattern. And let's pattern this backwards this way. And we'll need a direction to pattern it. So let's open up our sketch again and just use that line that we were using before. And instead of 2, let's make 4. So you can put 16 dominoes total on this. Press OK. And now we'll want some stadium seating for our dominoes. We can't, we won't, once a domino is here, we won't be able to see the row behind it. So let's move it up a little bit. And with our transform function that we have right here, we'll need a direction that we're going to transform it up. All right, so let's go back to the first sketch and just add another construction line. And we're going to make this vertical. And we can use that for our transform. Press OK. Then we're going to go to the transform function right here. We're going to click on this entity or this part. And we don't want to translate by line. We want to translate by distance. So we can keep saying, keep using the same line. It's going to be 0.0625. And the direction is going to be that line that we used. You can see it moved up a 1/16 of an inch. Now we're going to do this for each one of these rows right here. But we're going to add another 1/16 of an inch each time that we do the translation. Translate by distance. This one's going to be 1/8 of an inch instead of a 1/16. Oh, and the direction is going to be that way. And then for the last one, we're going to transform this one again. Transform by distance. The direction is going to be on our first sketch, and that's going to be 0.1875 to add another 1/16 of an inch. Now we don't need the sketch anymore, but let's connect all these together. So we're going to want to make a sketch, click on the edge of the part, right click, do normal to sketch plane. And let's just start this off in the middle of this part and affix it to the next part. Make sure it's horizontal. Okay, press escape and do another line in the middle, horizontally to the next. And we're going to keep doing that to make our base and connect all these. Next, we're going to do a line right here. Go down, connect them. And this is going to need to go all the way back here and connect to the back. And this line will make vertical for our constraints. And you can see this is a solid line, but this isn't. And that's because we use this part for our sketch, but these parts aren't included in the sketch. So we'll need to go through and outline the other parts in order to close off the sketch. And if you see, you have that gray mark right there. Now we can use that for an extrusion. Press OK. Click on both of these. We're going to extrude. And then this is, we're going to add. And the distance, let's do up to face, just in case we want to change the length. Oh, and the face is going to be the other side of this part right there. Now it's asking me for a merge scope, so we're going to merge it with all the parts that we connected to. And if you see right here, that creates just one part in the end. And that's our domino tray right there. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you like the video, then give me a like. Thank you.